here along Howard Street where Amelia Street meets, you can see this is still a very active scene. Still a lot of officers here. Not too long ago, I just spoke with someone who lives in the area. I asked her if she heard anything. She told me that she was actually in the house washing her hair. She came outside to check her mailbox, and bam, she saw all of the officers, all of the law enforcement presence flying here to this area. So I did find out this neighborhood is more of a mixture neighborhood. We have a lot of senior citizens, and we do have some younger people. We do have people getting home with their kids this afternoon. So a lot for people to come home and see. I'm sure they are concerned about what's going on here. Cody, Victoria, I have not heard any shots here in this area. I have also reached out. I did text Spartanburg County Sheriff Chuck Wright to find out any more information that he could give us. I also reached out to the police department just moments ago to find out if they're going to do any type of media staging to see if we can get any more answers, guys.
Yeah, guys, we're actually on the other side of Cleveland Park from where you just heard Jarvis. Right here on Asheville Highway, of course, this is a busy road going in and out of downtown, a lot of traffic. And if you're coming through here, you're going to see several deputies' cars, like the ones behind me here, that are blocking off any entranceway into the park and on either side of it. Now, what we've learned just in the moments we've been here, it is just Spartanburg County out here at this time. Right over here to my right, I want to show you on Cleveland Park Drive. You're going to see 3 ambulances over here with lights going. They're sitting there. They haven't moved since we've been out here. It looks like they may be on standby. A lot of action going on right here. Now, traffic coming through this area is still able to get through. So if you're driving up and down Asheville Highway, you can still get through right now. You will come across the deputies' cars with lights on, so you'll need to slow down as you come through here right in front of Cleveland Park. Again, Spartanburg County out here monitoring all entrances around the Cleveland Park area. So no getting in or out right now. And as you heard Cody just say, you don't need to be outside right now. They're actively looking for whoever did this in the park. Guys?
Yeah, Carrie, and we do want to kind of, again, give folks an idea while we have you there is that there are multiple agencies involved. We know SLED is on the way if they're not there. And, Carrie, again, we just went on the air. Many people just joining us, as typically we go on at 4. We started this newscast a little bit earlier. We do want to let folks know there were shootings this afternoon in the city of Spartanburg near the park. And Carrie's just at one of those scenes. And, Carrie, on your way there, did you still see a response from law enforcement? Because, again, I know there is still an active search going on out there.
I can tell you on my way in, as I was coming down 85, there was an ambulance still coming towards this area. So still action going on. As I said, looks like Spartanburg County is out here, so maybe more city is on the other side. This being at the front of the park, it looks like maybe more vehicles, more agencies are responding near the back. This looks more of like a traffic control at this point and just keeping people out from around the park area. So I've been seeing more deputies pull up as we've been out here, kind of joining forces here in the openings that you could get in around, making sure nobody pulls down in there. They're outside of their cars, standing around. So we're going to check with them after this hit and see what kind of information we can get and update you as quick as we can.
All right, Carrie, thankfully everyone is out of that area. They're keeping that perimeter secure at the moment while they continue to search for a suspect at this time.
I just got off the phone with Sheriff Chuck Wright. Here is what we can now confirm. He does confirm his deputy was shot. He does confirm his deputy was shot twice in the arm. But he said God was on their side. That deputy is going to be okay. So I wanted to get that out first because I know a lot of you are reaching out to us. But Sheriff Chuck Wright confirming to me just now his officer, his deputy, was shot twice in the arm, is at the ER. But the sheriff saying God was on their side. That deputy is going to be okay. Now here's what we have unfolding right now on this street where Jarvis is. So Jarvis, hope you're listening. You need to be safe. They believe that this person is holed up in a home there. They also believe there are people inside that home. They don't know if it's a hostage type situation or what, but they don't really know what's going on. They're trying to talk this guy out. They're trying to resolve this because they don't know who else is in this house with this gunman who is already accused of shooting a deputy and other civilians. I asked the sheriff if there are more officers hurt, and he said, Cody, I don't know. He just got on scene, but he says they're working to find out if there's any more law enforcement officers hurt. But he said right now it's active, and he just wanted to let us know those a few details so people know about his deputy. And the fact is that this suspect is holed up right now in this area where Jarvis is on Amelia Street, and they're trying to figure out if he has people in that home with him. Standing by for a news conference, Tori, on what exactly happened.
Yeah, we want to bring this to you live right now. Let's listen in to what Sheriff Chuck Wright has to say.
Good. Yeah, you can just look up at the. Well, I appreciate you guys coming out today. We have had a shooting that happened here just off of Howard Street. We were responding to the city asking us to come and help. We really don't know what triggered anything or what happened before we got there. Our officers got here. There was a gunfire exchange. One of our deputies was hit. Praise God that he was hit in the arm and no other vitals. And I just was up there with him a little while ago, and he's going to be okay. The doctor said he's going to be fine. Everybody that can pray, just start doing that for me, okay? Major Art Littlejohn literally tore one of the banisters down and threw our deputy in the car and got him to the hospital. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate the teamwork that we share here in the city and everywhere around. I mean, it's just cops doing what cops do. I know that the situation at the house is over. I don't know what the status of anybody is, and I want to let some people that is not close to the case make some of those comments. Sheriff Hobart Lewis has been asked by Chief Kill and myself if he would investigate all this, and the answer is of course. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know what to tell you. It's a terrible phone call when you get the phone calls and you say, hey, you got a deputy that's been shot, and it takes you 30-40 minutes to find out if he's going to make it or not. But thank God everybody's going to be fine. The deputy is. We know there were other people in the house. We literally just secured the scene, so I don't know any more details than I might add. So Major Art Littlejohn obviously is here to speak for whatever the city needs to speak to, but I want to publicly thank him personally for doing what he did. He put himself in harm's way to help our man, and I just can't. I don't know what. Think he's not good enough.
Live for us out in Spartanburg near Amelia Street, where the investigation is still unfolding at this hour. Let's start with Zach, though. You were at that press conference earlier in the evening with Spartanburg Police, Spartanburg County Sheriff, and the Greenville County Sheriff, all of them coming together as a team to work this case.
Yeah, Cody and Tori, well, there are still a lot of questions as to what exactly happened and why. But we do know that SLED, the Greenville County Sheriff's Office, Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office, and Police Department have been on the scene here for hours near Howard Street after multiple people were shot.
Very scary situation for us, obviously, because we work right next door to Cleveland Park. Normally, the park itself is really, really nice and calm, and a lot of families are here. So for this to have happened was definitely a shocker to all of us.
That's how Mateo Lopez describes the scene that unfolded next to his work near Cleveland Park in Spartanburg Thursday afternoon.
The sheriff's office was getting ready to do a SWAT hit on something else. We had a lot of deputies that were right there into the squad room getting debriefed about what we were going to do. Call come out from the city to help. Everybody obviously bails out and goes help. When we get there, that's when everything transpired with the shootings.
The suspect in this case, a man who was known to law enforcement, then ran into a nearby house while law enforcement surrounded the area. Our crews on scene could hear multiple loud bangs before that scene was contained just before 5:30 in the evening.
We knew who he is. We know who he is. I don't know what started it. I mean, it's a crazy thing, but we just don't know what started it.
The Greenville County Sheriff's Office has taken over the investigation, and SLED agents from Columbia arrived to the scene by helicopter. And again, it's still very early in this investigation as we continue to try and confirm details about this incident and the identity of that suspect. Coming up tonight at 11, we'll share how the quick action of another law enforcement officer helped that deputy after he was shot. For now, reporting live in Spartanburg, Zach Perletsky, back to you guys.
Zach, thank you. And as you can imagine, a chaotic situation this afternoon. We brought it to you as breaking news for 2.5 hours. And we want to map this all out for you just to give you some perspective. And you could see just how close these scenes are between North Cleveland Park Drive and Amelia Street, less than half a mile apart between that first shooting and then where the standoff took place, about a 5-minute walk. Zach mentioned a helicopter landing there at the Piedmont Fairgrounds. And this is a look at that when Chief of SLED Mark Keel arrived from Columbia to assist with this case. He was out at that scene on Amelia Street. That's where Fox Carolina's Jarvis Robertson has been for us all afternoon. Jarvis, what can you tell us tonight about this investigation at this hour?
Well, Victoria, much of the afternoon, Howard Street was closed off, but since then it has been reopened. You can see we do have a couple of cruisers right here with their lights on. But if you look right here down Amelia Street, this is where most of those officers are focused at this very moment. They do have their mobile command center out along with their tape surrounding the home. We can't see the actual home where they're at, but again, that is the very location where they're at. Now, taking a look at some of the video, you can see just how big the law enforcement presence was here. We're talking about Spartanburg County, City, SLED, SHIP, and also Greenville County, all here involved in this investigation. Officers have been talking to neighbors and witnesses in the area, piecing together information for their investigation. Now, we were able to see some SWAT team members in full gear moving in and around this scene while all of this was going on. Residents in the community coming home to see that chaos. Also, there were little kids who were outside playing, just going about their normal day. Now, I did have a chance to ask one neighbor what he heard going on.
Like 40, 50 shots fired, and I thought it was fireworks because they've been shooting them up the last few days up in this area. And I was checking the stew beef, and because I'm cooking dinner for my wife, and I came to the front door, and there was police everywhere.
I know we by Cleveland Park where the kids play, okay, and it's very, very devastating because, you know, the kids come here daily. We turn this road often, and to see this happening is very sad, you know, and prayers to the family.
Now, there are so many elements to this case, and it's still unclear just how long officers are going to be on scene. Now, back here live, the threat to this area, this neighborhood, has been over for the last several hours. At this very moment, we still have several questions that need to be answered by law enforcement. Once we get those, we're certainly going to push those answers out to you, because this narrative, this presence from law enforcement, there's a lot that still needs to be explained at this hour. Cody, Victoria, back to you.